I do want to close it out with I felt like this cast got really close, and like I said, last night was a true testament of it, and it was all very close because of Kennedy. Kennedy, last night, it was a very emotional night, and we don't want to dive into it really, but we can. But I do want to talk about it because there was a lot of talk about you in this game, coming into this game, and like I said in the beginning, you know, we all come from different walks of life for these types of games where it's a social experiment. It's not just a competition, it's a social experiment, and see how can we interact together. And I put rules in place that if you fall outside of those rules, you know, there's consequences. So I wasn't concerned about any of that and the outside influence. But you got people here that got to know you and spend time with you. We got to really know Kennedy this season, and you earned a lot of love and respect from a lot of these people here. And some of them have gone to bat for you and put themselves in the line of fire for you, and they got hit. You know, they got hit. And they got to feel a little piece of what you got to feel, and it was an emotional night. And those that were in that conversation, if you want to talk about it and let Kennedy know, she's because I feel like it's important, because it was an emotional night, and it was heartwarming from me as a host to watch the love for someone, you know, and how it was affected.
I'm not sure if someone else specifically wants to go first, or if I can go, or if I'll go first. I know I'm speaking, so I'll go first. Kennedy, you know I love you to absolute pieces. I will throw myself in front of a bullet for you any day. You know that. I don't go through what you go through to the extent you do, and that's why I am willing to take a piece of what you go through. I am fine taking a piece of what you go through every day, just because you're one of my best friends, and I absolutely love you. And I feel like the crying was mainly at me last night. I definitely cried a lot last night because I know you're a good person. I know you're an absolute amazing human being. You're the best friend I could ever ask for, and I will always be here to defend you. You know that. Even when we weren't the closest, I was still the person defending you the most. And I think anyone who's your friend, if they are your friend, they will defend you the same way I do. So I know other people in this cast have defended you. You're an absolute, I'm gonna repeat myself again. You're an amazing person. And last night, like, we did talk about it. It was a hot topic of discussion, and I think that everyone in this game knows the Kennedy you are, and not the Kennedy other people perceive you as. And I think that's what's most important. I can sit here all day saying how great you are. That doesn't mean anything. It's more so the people talking to you and getting to know you for who you are. And if people get to know you and they decide they don't like you, that's on them. They don't have to like you. Like, not everybody has to like you. But I do think people should not like you for other people's reasons. If people don't like you for their own reasons, that's on them. But you should not listen to one side of a story in the community and think I'm all of a sudden not going to like that person. But that is my main take on that, and I love you. You're amazing. My bestie forever.
Kennedy, you are amazing, and you are like a pleasure to be around this whole time. You're a class act, and you are a deserving winner. We all love you here. We all think you are beautiful inside and out, and period. Like, we all got your back.
Kennedy, don't mistake my hysteria for anything but just my own personal love for this game. From day one, we talked about how we have the same story in Oryx, how people bully us and make us want to, quit playing Oryx. And just being here with you has been really special. You drive me crazy sometimes because you're stubborn and you play with your heart, not your head. But I'm so proud of you. I couldn't have done this without you. And whoever has stuff to say on the internet, like a stupid troll, they can say whatever they want. I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm saying it's stupid that they're on the internet causing drama and watching everything you do. Just keep your head up. You've got a great career. You're a badass. You're super pretty. And you wore the red top. Nobody's even seen it. And we love you. Okay. Sorry.
Thank you.
I want to say something. Kennedy, I had a relationship with you in this game that I really haven't had with a lot of people in other games, because you were clearly on one end of an alliance and I was on another end. And so whenever we spoke, we really couldn't talk about game. Like, we kind of did, but we didn't. And so like 90 to 95% of our conversations were personal. And I felt like I learned so much about you. You learned so much about me. I feel like every second that we spoke, you were always so positive. I never heard you say anything bad about anybody. And so some of you know that I got in a keyboard warrior fight publicly on some Facebook posts. And I would do it again, easily do it again, because I think not enough people stand up for what's right. And I think if more people do, those kind of people will go away and they'll shut up. And the person ended up having to delete their post because it was stupid. While I was coming to the table with really just facts, I didn't call anyone names. I didn't slander anyone. But I don't even know how many Facebook. I blocked more people in the last 48 hours than I'm proud to admit. Have been called a racist, have been called someone who supports a racist, someone who supports white supremacy. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? To the point where my own friends were actually mad at me. So it was not a fun thing to go through, but I would do it 10 times over for you, because I see you and I see you as this amazing human that you are.
I just want to add that Vinny was on Zoom last night for like 2 hours just talking in circles about positive things about Kennedy, and the mods were just like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, no, you're amazing, Kennedy. I'm gonna keep it short, but I have so much respect for you. I love getting to know you. I love playing with you. I love turning on you and then not turning, all that jazz. But yeah, no, you're amazing. I have so much respect for you. You're a wonderful person. I feel like people who actually know you can see that.
Thank you. Sorry. This whole thing has been really hard for me.
Real quick,
Yeah.
before you start, can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
So I've been back and forth about a lot of things when it comes to this whole situation, because as a black man, and to hear these allegations, I came into this game and I said, I hear what people are saying. I can say anything, like I can use that as even a strategy. I can make it, oh, she's this, and know nothing about you, but I took that out the game. I didn't care to know that about you, or know if that's even part of you, or if that's anything that has to, like, in playing this game with you, I know that's not who you are. Like, for you to be, from what I've learned post game, I'm sorry, Aníbal, you told me, but it doesn't matter. You being biracial, like that, to have that in your blood, that doesn't make sense. Like, people who go through these experiences, who can't identify fully with themselves and all of those things because of other people's allegations and those type of things, your experience or whatever happened in whatever game that was your experience with that person. It doesn't make that the thing that you feel like every person is going to be of that community. Kennedy, you treated me with such kindness this entire game. I don't give a fuck that you voted me out. Like, I don't care about any of that because you've been such a sweetheart. Everything you did, you were, like speech, you were calculated and you chose to do that. I don't see a racist bone in your body, to be honest. I don't see it in anybody in this cast. Because I've learned that Aníbal does not cast people that have that in them. And I think all of us, we're gonna have our problems with each other. We're gonna have these situations. That's the purpose of the game. But for the whole reason that we're having these moments, we're learning to love each other for our differences because we're all different. And Kennedy, you showed through all the diversity of each of us, through each of our different struggles on these 39 days, you've shown that you can be resilient and show that you can do what you need to do and make sure that people actually still want to vote for you and people wanted to vote for you. Haley, not to say people didn't want to vote for you because you deserved votes. You deserved your win. But she just did better. That's the only reason it happened. But Kennedy, again, these allegations, they're whatever they want to be. Don't let that bother you because again, I voted for you. And I will take whatever they want to say against me for you because you did what you needed to do in this game and you were able to build trust. You were able to be strategic in the ways to get yourself to not be hated. And that's the thing. I just see so much such a positivity from you. I'm gonna shut up. Bye. I'm done talking for the night.
Oh, thank you.
I would like
really
to say
appreciate
something, if that's okay. And I already
you're good.
touched briefly on us. But like obviously I'm new to this community. And I have already seen the same allegations and I have removed myself from people already because I look forward to growing this community and like the connection I have built with you, definitely like I have nothing but love and respect for you and like I hate seeing things like that and I will always go to bat for you moving forward. I will always be in your corner. And you did put on a really good game. And so I have a lot of love for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate all of this. This is something that I haven't had since it happened. I've had people, don't get me wrong, like I've had Tyler in the forefront of it. I've had a lot of people in the forefront of it. But this is the first time since all of it happened that I've kind of met a new group of people who learned about the situation. Oh my god, it's thundering? Sorry. And I think it's interesting because a lot of you learned that, not even interesting, it means a lot to me because a lot of you learned about the situation from them. I wasn't able to speak to a lot of you about it and give you the story of what happened, and despite the extremes that some of the comments have gone to, and twisting and turning the words, you still gave me that chance, and I really appreciate that. The fact that I am concerned of how this will reflect on all of you because this is live streamed, and so this will probably get used against any of you that have
gives
spoken
a
up.
fuck?
I don't give a single fuck.
Well, I do.
Run
just
it up.
because
those
Run
folks
that
can
shit the
actually go to
fuck
hell for
up.
that.
That's fine.
What's your goddamn address? Like, we can drop the pin right now. I don't
Like,
care.
I'll fight. I'm pretty
Right,
sure.
like bring it.
I don't want any of it to reflect on y'all. But no, I really appreciate that. I think people forget that there's a person at the end of it, and I hate seeing that you've dealt with any of the slack that I've gotten. And just hearing you say like I only got a part of it, because I've been dealing with this since July. I moved across the country, and I was driving home from DC to Minneapolis when a lot of this was happening, and I had to have people sit on calls with me so I wouldn't drive off the road. I was at probably one of the lowest points in my life. And then about a month later, one of the people who stood up for me with everything, about a month later he passed away, and I lost him. And since then I have decided that I'm never gonna stop fighting. I'm never gonna stop fighting for me. I'm never gonna stop fighting for him, because he had to deal with so much. and he passed away because of a heart condition. So these people knew that he didn't have much time, and they made him live through terrible things. That him and I had to stand by each other. So I just really appreciate that y'all are with me on this. Because I'm gonna keep fighting, and I really appreciate having people fighting with me. It really means a lot, and seeing me for me, because that's something that I didn't know. I didn't know if I was ever gonna have in this community again. So I really do appreciate you guys. And so much love
Alright.
to all of you.
So I do want to add, because I was the first of this cast to have to hear about it,
Yeah.
and I didn't even address everyone about it. But like I said, whatever it is, Survivor and its whole is a social experiment, and we're all different types of people, different beliefs, whether you may see them as morally wrong or right. At the end of the day, we all think differently. But in this social experiment, what happens when we're forced to have to be together and work together and all that sort of things? And I do have these rules in place that you all agree to, that I am confident that you will abide by them. So hearing the outside noise about you, Kennedy, did not deter me, because I felt it in you that you weren't this person, and you know, you agreed to the rules. That's one thing, but you know, you have myself, who's an LGBT person of color. You have Paris, who's the same way. You have Chris, who's also a person of color. And we would not stand for anything like that, and we were told that we needed to protect the people of color of this cast from you, and we balked at it because there's no way that would transpire in this game, especially not with Danny around. But you know, I was not concerned. You know, I felt it in you that you weren't this person, and and I was happy to give you the stage to show these people that you are not this person, and you successfully did it. Not on the final tribal. You did it throughout the game. You did it throughout these zooms, all these zooms that the audience didn't get to see. You were interacting with these people, sometimes like 8-10 hour zooms, right? And even after 8-10 hours, y'all are getting upset I'm Indium. But we got to know you, Kennedy. We got to know a lot about Kennedy. And she's very supportive, very positive, doesn't try to say anything negative about people, and even if she comes close, she stops herself and apologizes for it. She doesn't even like to overtalk. She doesn't like to interrupt people, but she does it anyways, and she'll even apologize if she catches herself for it. But I do believe that we can sometimes make mistakes, and we can sometimes say the wrong thing. And did you? I think so. But did you mean the intent that they're accusing for you? I don't think so. Not at all. Not in the slightest. Do I believe if people messes up, like in a game or something, that there's some kind of disciplinary action? Yes, of course. There's punishment of some sort. But to the extent of that you have been punished is insane and extreme. To treat you like you should never ever play an org ever again is insane. If like I think Tyler said, if they don't like you, then that's fine, you know, disassociate. But to go at all ends to make sure everybody in the world who interacts with you needs to know their experience with you is just crazy. And so I am glad that you were able to come here and show people who Kennedy is. And you said it in your speech that you played this game as Kennedy. Kennedy Kyoko, who's named after her Japanese grandmother, Miss
I can post
Kyoko.
pictures. She's adorable.
And we've seen pictures with your grandpa as well. But why do you have to do that? You know, why did
Shouldn't
Obama
have to.
have to do that, right? Remember, they were saying he wasn't. But yeah, like, I'm glad that to have you represent this season. And I
her
think-
love of this game is unreal.
Yes, and I know you have a lot of things working in your real life, and we wish the best success for you in the endeavors that you have going on. Whether you end up having to leave this country to do it, we'll be rooting for you. Okay. I just wanted to let you know that I was willing to stand up and defend you, even though I know people will see me some kind of way and the game some kind of way. I'm willing to take that fault because I know at the end of the day, we're not wrong.
I really appreciate
Me
that.
too.